In the cut.
Hey,
what's going on, buddy?
What's goody? What's goody? Welcome everybody to In the Cut, Winning
Oh
Wednesday.
man, this one is gonna be exciting, bro. Exciting.
We are episode number 8, baby.
Yeah, it's money making Wednesdays. How about that one?
Money making Wednesdays. Money
We're
making
gonna find out.
Money making.
Oh yeah, every day. Of course, you're right. I'm sorry. Touche.
So, we got a special guest on here today. I just realized we started at 9 today. We used to do this at 11.
Yeah, threw me off. It really threw me off. I had to read it again.
No, listen, I was like 11 o'clock, but everybody's home now. Quarantine, COVID. Everybody's home.
Once you put it at 9 o'clock, I knew it was prime time. We had to get it done. You know what I'm saying?
Prime time. We got the prime time slot. Before we had before we almost had the late night slot. Now we got the prime time slot.
Yeah, they I'd rather be doing this than actually watching TV.
So, well, check it, man. So we got a special guest for you guys here tonight. I'm super grateful to have met this individual, man. So tonight, obviously, if you guys know, you guys see the title for our show tonight is Real Estate 101. And who better to invite than a real estate pro. I'll tell you a little bit about this individual. He's been featured in the New York Times.
Hey.
He's super, obviously experienced professional in real estate, residential, commercial. I know him through commercial real estate, and we're blessed to even have this guy on here, pick his brain. And if you're a rookie, real estate, individual that wants to gain some knowledge, maybe dabble into real estate, maybe just pick somebody's brain about real estate who's a professional, this is the show you want to be on. Me personally, I'm an investor in real estate, a couple properties, and me personally, I'm always just hungry for information, just picking people's brains on how to grow as an investor, or just simple. And I started off with podcasts like this, just picking people's brains and getting information. You know what I'm saying? So, and Pedro as well, real estate investor as well. Newly just got property. Congratulations.
Hell yeah,
my brother.
Thank God for that, man. I needed that. So during COVID moments too. So that was a big deal. Like a lot of people were down, and I just thank God that I wasn't in that predicament, and I had I was able to bust a move and actually create something for the future. Right. So that was a blessing. That was a blessing. Thank God.
So, without further ado, I want to welcome Real Estate Pro and soon to be father, actually, Mr. Martin Dupain.
Big deal.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the awesome intro. That's awesome. Thanks, guys. And thanks for everybody tuning in right now. I appreciate your attention. That's really awesome. Thank you. Really cool.
For sure. We got a couple people on here already. So you're ready to give the value, ready to give them some insight on your world.
I can't wait, man, because I'm gonna learn myself, bro. There's got to be something I don't know right now.
Of course.
Of course, exactly.
So
I got my notebook, bro. I'm ready.
I thought those were all the questions. I was like, how long are we gonna be on here? That's a whole book of questions.
No. Look, it's blank. I'm gonna write the answers down, bro.
Okay.
There we go.
Come on, man.
Awesome.
I gotta know some type of information, because there's always the next level, right?
No, true, absolutely.
Man, Martin, so for those who don't know, who you are, just give a little brief intro, on who you are, what you do, how long you've been doing it, and why you do what you do.
All right. Like the theme of the podcast, I'm in real estate. That's my primary, my primary source of income, my primary, mode of making a means right now. I've been doing New York City specific real estate for about 4 years, going on 5. Before that, I had my own consulting company. I was working internationally. By the time I was like 30, I basically had done business on every continent except for like Antarctica and like South America. Yeah. So and we had offices everywhere. It was pretty cool, actually. But it was consulting. It's difficult, really difficult, especially when you just basically started doing it on your own, out of nowhere. There was a heavy real estate influence then. I didn't really think of what I was doing as real estate, but I was doing large scale projects. So, we have to find the land, and we have to find developers for it. You have to source all these things for the contract. So, I was doing international real estate basically since I was 24. I'm 35 now. So, in real estate overall, about 10 years now. Yeah. But yeah, I switched into New York City real estate. That consulting life was killing me. Literally, I turned 30 in a hospital bed. It was really crazy. It was a lot of work and barely sleeping. We had an office in China. So basically sleeping 4 hours a night, because you have to prepare. It's exactly 12 hours difference from New York. It's insane. So basically I was like, maybe I'll just, I can do projects around the world. I can do stuff in New York City. It's got to be easier. And yeah, it's not easier. It's, it's difficult depending on what you're trying to pull off here. I was actually really surprised, but nonetheless, I stuck with this and, making it my life. And, I find out I learned so much just from all the crazy stuff I've had to go through. In fact, basically, I was part owner of the same real estate company that I first joined after only a few months, just because of my ability to basically solve problems and make deals happen where most people couldn't. So I was offered a CTO position, 15% of the company. That kind of catapulted me into New York City real estate really quick. I was able to, cut my teeth learning all types of stuff that, get my hands in projects and things that most people in their real estate career never get a chance to be a part of. And then also nobody in their first few years ever, gets opportunities like that. It's just unheard of, because you wouldn't even, you may have an opportunity like that, but it's just going to pass you by because you don't even know what you're looking at yet, which is, I'm not throwing shade. That's just normal. You're just getting started. I was very fortunate to just be blessed with the brain I have, and just be thrown in these positions where I was able to learn and succeed where, most people wouldn't, very blessed, very fortunate. I mean, and I learned, I got some cool people to learn from. you know, and that made a huge difference.
Awesome.
You pretty much just had the vision, bro.
Yeah.
You know, the vision before I even knew I had it, was just like, I think the vision had me.
That was it.
You know.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's
that's
kind of like how things.
You know what they say, right? Without vision, you will perish.
Mm.
You had it, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll take that. I will take that. It was in you the whole time.
Thank you.
Well, so we got a couple people logged on here already. You know, tuning into the stream. If you're tuning in, let us know where you're tuning in from. How's everybody's night going? Feel free to jump in the conversation whenever you feel, you know, have a question or anything, comment, concern. But you know, so talk about it, Martin. Like, how, you know, how'd you get into it? What was the New York Times about? That's pretty cool. I had no idea.
I want to know, bro.
Well, like, gosh, it's kind of okay. So basically, the first time I got in the New York Times was for a was it for the residential deal or the commercial? I think it was for my commercial deal. I took a UK spiked bubble tea company over here and got their headquarters down in the East Village at Bubbleology. So it was like my first commercial project that you know, my first commercial deal. You know, it was a, you know, crazy like 8-year lease. They completely renovated this spot. It used to be International Bar down in East Village. So it's like, that's 120 and a half 1st Avenue. So it's like 1st and 7th. Yeah, over there. So that was my first time. And it basically just had like this ongoing challenge with myself. So like every year, because that was like the first year I had my real estate license, I got in the New York Times. So I just kind of like every year I'm like, oh man, I have to get in the Times at least once. You know?
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
So like,
yeah. How you top the first year? That just sucks for you. Right?
Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like every year I'm like, I have to do it at least
It'd
once,
be like that.
You know?
How do you upgrade? How do you upgrade from the next, you know, from the last one? It's just always about leveling up.
Exactly. So it's like, you know, it's been like 4 times now. It's like most recently I did like an industrial garage I rented to these iron workers. It was actually just a couple months ago. So during COVID too, you know, I pulled off another deal, you know, just hustling, man. Just hustling. Taking every opportunity, you know?
Nice.
That's how it is.
Nice. So, you know, for those who don't know, I know Martin, you know, because I met him. He actually helped find the, you know, a friend of ours barbershop in Ridgewood, right? Ridgewood.
Yeah, Ridgewood.
You know, which is pretty cool. Great location. Martin was on top of it.
It's a beautiful shop.
So I've also been working with Martin pretty closely as well. Real good. Just a real good dude overall.
Yeah.
So, you know, again, thank you for jumping on here and then letting us just pick your brain, man. So.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you.
For sure, man. And you know, I know there's, you know, a lot of our people that are gonna be watching this. These are people that a lot of them are entrepreneurs. A lot of them, they have a 9-to-5, you know, but you know, they know that's not the end goal. They know they want to invest their money somewhere else. Maybe real estate's an option. There's, you know, there's many other options you can.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of stuff, but
so many other things, man. But you know, since we have you on here, we gonna primarily talk real estate today.
Hell yeah.
Right.
All right, excellent.
So, you know, I mean, I have a ton of questions.
No, there's so many. I don't know where to start.
But what? So, you know, just FYI for everybody on here, fine print. You know, this is not us telling you. This is what you have to do. This is free advice. Free advice is exactly what it is. Free.
Yeah, you know, advice in opinion. You know, we're here.
Opinion. You just ended up in the New York Times. Don't listen to this guy. Yeah, right. All right. I get
Eric,
it.
what up, brother Eric? What's going on,
Eric?
man? So, you know, I mean, personally, you know, I'm thinking about the questions that I thought of before, like I even took a step into real estate. You know, like where to even begin, right? Like, where would you even, you know, how first of all, tell people what exactly is it that you do, you know?
All right. Well, I mean, look, let me just break it down. Like maybe on like any given day, or just any given week, I'll try to do, you know, basically when you're in real estate and you're a professional, there's different, you know, different tiers and different angles of the business. You know, a lot of people maybe focus solely on like on client side, right? So they're trying to acquire clients, you know, or advertise properties that are for clients, you know, which is going to be like, you know, like Jonathan, oh, I want a event space and a shop, you know, something like that, or like, you know, Pedro, he wants a property, he wants like a multi-fam, right? So he can, you know, rent out, you know, the place, possibly even live there for free, you know, based off of his income from that, you know. So there's that sort of thing. But there's also like landlord side as well, right? So, you know, for example, like every time I see, you know, what I think, in my opinion, is a dope property, and there's a sign in the window, you know, especially like some janky handwritten sign or like hand painted sign. I love that. I love that. Those, I call those numbers. I get in touch with those people. Those are landlords that honestly they've been doing things the same way forever. You know, I love those guys. They're hard to crack, and most people, you know, for lack of better words, they don't fuck with people like that because they know those people are so tough to talk to, and they're gonna tell you no a million times. They're gonna tell you no, because they're always gonna tell you no, right? I call those numbers. I love those numbers. Those numbers have, you know, brought me good fortune constantly, you know. So, and that's what you got to do. You got to work from both sides, you know. So it's great to have like clients for a property, but you also have to have a property to advertise. You know, you have to have some sort of magnet, and you also have to know. You need to know what's available around you at all times, you know. And the same goes for if you're just trying to start out in real estate personally and like an invest, or even as a real estate agent. Start close to home. Like anything that's within a 5-minute walk from your house, you should know like how much it is, like what it is. You know, is it a storefront? Is it an apartment? Is it a studio? Is it a 2-bed? Is it a 3-bed? How long it's been on the market? How much is it? You know, you should know how it is and know what it is. It's not really hard, you know, especially right now.
Yeah, they have apps for everything, like Zillow and all those things.
Apps, or even just take a walk, you know.
Oh yeah, you can do that too. I'd rather see it in person if it's right there, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know, like for me, how it starts out for the most part, back when like, you know, like we were all taking subway rides more often and stuff, it'd just be like as simple as like something I would see on my way to my office, or I would see on the way back home from the subway, you know, like on my walks. If it's for rent, it just bothers me. Like it bothers me like that it's empty and I'm just walking by it and I have a real estate license. I can change that. Like it's almost like
what to call this guy in a bit.
Yeah. But you know, like it's almost like it's almost a sin not to use your gift, you know, to call. You have a license for this. It's your neighborhood. You're just gonna leave a hole there, you know. Yes. Bring something cool, you know. That's just exciting, like Joe. That was perfect. I was always saying to myself, in this neighborhood, there's no place I cut my hair. That sucks. And then I can walk past this beautiful spot all the time, and then I get somebody who cuts really nice hair. Boom. It's just aligns like that. But you know, it starts like that. But you know, any given day, you know, that's what I'm doing. I'm like calling those numbers and canvassing, or I'm like, you know, calling every lead back. Doesn't matter if I didn't close on you, even for like whatever apartment you hit me up on like last week or last month or whatever. If I don't have anything to do, I'm going to call you, send you a text message, send you an email, you know.
Reach out.
Reach out. Basically,
like I'm here.
Yeah. Like basically what we used to say, or what I used to train my agents at my first company, Wave Real Estate, Bond bought them last summer, but I would train my agents, and in the manual it says like, you keep reaching out till people like they tell you they moved somewhere else, they die, or they moved to New Jersey. Like that's what I would teach people, because like,
yeah, I'm not moving to Jersey, man.
Yeah, just keep calling them, keep text, email, whatever. Like, you know. And then with the landlords, same thing. Keep calling them till they call you back, till they pick up your phone call. Just keep it up. It'll happen.
Definitely respect on your end, man. Just you know, working with you hand in hand. I was able to see this guy like. Literally, like he could understand that it's not just making a sale, it's like providing a need, and he has the vision for it. His vision is so like I remember we were when we were looking for a store, we were in Long Island City, and literally it was a house, bro. It was a house, Pete. And it was like a daycare. So literally it was like a 2-3 floor house or something like that. And we were seeing if we could put a barbershop in there. And I'm the first thing I'm gonna be quite honest. I was like, I don't know how we're gonna pull this off in here. But Martin's like, listen, there's potential.
Of course.
There's potential. There's
gotta be.
I'm like,
when you don't see anything, there's always an upgrade to do. You know what I mean? Like
that's what really opened my mind about real estate and why I really started messing with Martin, because he was able to see things that I was just like, this ain't gonna work at all. Like, but that's what I love. You can tell when people are passionate about something. And that's what you want in a realtor and your agent, right? You want someone who's passionate about it.
You want to work with a person like that, bro. That's the only person I want to work with, bro. Like I don't want to work with a half-assed realtor. There's so many half-assed realtor out there. That I'm a realtor. Guess what, bro? I'm doing what you're doing without your license.
Exactly.
Right.
Pay attention, homie. Pay attention, homie.
Yeah.
Like I'm doing what you're doing, and I'm doing it better than you. Like I don't even have a license. And I'm not trying to disrespect realtors. I'm just saying, I bump into so many of them. I'm a realtor. Why? Because you have a paper?
Mm-hmm. There's definitely some qualities. There's definitely some qualities like you would want an agent. Like for people that's on here that, if you're looking into the market right now, like let's just say Martin, someone's looking for an agent right now, might need some, they just don't want to go just to anybody. Like what are some things that you think you bring to the table or just a good agent brings to the table that's like, cool, this is the person I want to work with?
I mean, it's a good question. I'd say like number one, you need somebody. You want somebody who's optimistic. Not necessarily. You don't want a yes man. You don't want a yes woman. You don't want a yes person. You just want somebody who's optimistic, because there's a lot of like when you're trying to pull off something big, like make your first purchase, home purchase, or sign your first like commercial lease for your retail space. There's so many things and so many moving parts, and lots of things can happen at any time. Like anything until the lease is signed. I've had deals that just, we're right there to sign. We're at the lease signing table, and then, the certified checks are made out to the wrong LLC, for example. Wow. It's like, instead of like, something First Ave LLC, it's just, First Ave. And
one letter off?
Yeah, like one letter off. Yeah.
Like you gotta start over. It's weird. That kind
of we can't have like 30 grand worth of checks, and like and most people would start sweating like, oh crap, and then me, I'm like, all right, well the bank's still open. Like, let's go. Like, how about this? You go to the bank, I'm gonna go to Starbucks and get everyone some coffee, some donuts. I'll come back. Like, you just chill. I'll be back. Enjoy the AC. We'll be back with this check. It's not a big deal, You gotta stay optimistic. So number one, optimism, definitely. That goes a long way. I mean, I feel like that's number one in basically all fields. You
gotta be positive, man.
Yeah, you gotta be an optimist.
Because the stuff that if you're going as far as investing, everyone's already going against you, bro.
Yeah, well, exactly. Everyone's going against you, and even in your own head, you got a million things in your own head that's doubting you. You don't have to project it. Be optimistic.
I realize that the problem with people today, I mean, I'm not saying probably in general, I might be wrong as well. It's just that when they do research, I realize that they don't do research on what can go right. They always do research on what can go wrong.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Your mind's already like, that can go this way or that way. I don't even want to do it. Not knowing that, hey, this works.
Yeah. No, you're right. Like it's kind of like the way I like to think about stuff. Like when I'm doing research, for example, or even just when I hear a story about something, you're just learning like history about a property or building. I just always think of it as like is proof of concept, like, oh wow, that guy has his name on this fucking building and this has been here for like 100 years. Like this is proof of concept. That means it's possible that I can do it. So this dude did it. A guy next to him did it. There's a guy down the street with the name on it. You know, like there's lots of buildings with people's names on it. This is not an impossible thing. You know, it's like you know, like if you ever see like your favorite car drive by, you're like, damn, that's a nice whip. You know, some people think like, man, I'll never have that in a million years. And then sometimes I think about it, I'm like, dude, there's a whole company that employs a whole bunch of people and they make a whole shit ton of that car or you know, of cars in general. That means they're anticipating you walking in there someday and buying it. Like, don't
listen,
man, you know, I believe the world is there for you, you know.
Right. I believe in, you know what I mean. It's already mine. I just have to go get it.
Yeah, exactly. I
don't care what anybody say. You don't gotta believe in me, but I believe in me. So that's all that matters to me, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna go get it.
Proof of concept. So you know, optimism, that's important, and then also, you know, you want somebody who who matches your energy. Yeah. You know, you want someone who matches your energy, you know, like, you know, like you want someone who's like, what, say that again?
That'd be a plus if someone do match the energy.
Right? Like, exactly. You know, someone you can call up in the morning, like, hey, you know, thanks for sending those things real quick. You know, they're up, they're awake. They, you know, you can tell they had their Wheaties too that morning. You know, you're not the only person, you know, who ate a nutritious breakfast and did some push-ups. Yep. You know, they're on point too. They're ready to work also. You know,
of course.
So you know, I'd say like that. Those two things, number one and number two, optimism and just like match that energy. Those two things right there. I mean, you can't go wrong. You know, you really can't.
Energy is definitely important.
Yeah, and you know, P mentioned this earlier. He said, you know, you can invest in. We're investing into real estate without having that piece of paper, right? So this is a real general question. Does a person need a realtor to be in real estate?
I mean,
it'll be easier.
Yes and no.
On our end, it'll be easier on our end.
Yes and no, because like
that's work.
I'll put it this way, like there's a lot of landlords that I work with, and I mean, I can't tell you how many of these guys came here, you know, this is not a unique story. Oh, I came here 35 years ago. I didn't speak any English, you know, and I was working in a shoe store, and then I painted apartments on the side, and then I got paid this and this, and then I bought my first place, and then I started this other business, and I got more money, and then I bought my second one. Like, you know, there's a huge misconception in New York City with landlords that they're all very, very rich people and they can afford to have somebody not pay the bills and this and that. And after all these years now working with a lot of these landlords, I can tell you that yes, there are some that are very, very rich, and there's some huge conglomerates and huge management companies. There are, but the majority, they're not. They're small mom and pop, like small families, you know. The majority are really not. And, you know, they're just like, you know, they're just like you guys, but like 30 years ago, you know, they're just like me, but, you know, like 40 years ago, you know, they're the same. They had some energy, you know, and they just went out and did it. So you don't necessarily need it for yourself to invest, but it's great to have a good realtor and, you know, who's a professional, who knows the area, who can basically send you deals. And then there's another thing too, like basically like I know stuff about real estate and like in certain landlords in certain neighborhoods that, you know, regular people will never know. Like I know some inside good stuff. I need some inside dirt stuff. Stuff regular people would never know. And like, so, you know, in a place like New York City, and you want to do like, once you start doing some big deals, I think it's good to have a real estate professional on your side for sure.
Because you definitely, at least I know I learned. Like the only reason why I'm doing hands-on right now is because I want to learn exactly the steps. Right, so I can always teach the next person, you know, because we're here. Listen, man, we're different. I'm here to break the barrier. I'm here to break rules. I mean, good rules. You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't have my paper, but I'm doing everything what everybody else is doing, right?
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of I wanted to learn. You know what I mean? I wanted to learn. You know, I was optimistic, like you said. You know, I believed in what was going on, and I never looked back, bro. Did I lose? Yes, we lost some. You know, we lost here and there, but the wins are big.
Yeah, true. And then also think about getting your license too, so you can also share in commissions too. You know,
I just want to get my license so that I can actually walk into an open house. Like, I'm a realtor. I'm going in there. Yeah, not even to sell a house. I just want to know if I can buy that house and I can walk in there calmly without me getting arrested. You know what I mean?
No.
Oh man, we got a story about that.
Bro,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to get arrested. Like, I really want to buy that, but if I do have my license, I can just walk in there. Like, I'm a realtor. Bang. I get that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. That's so funny. We do have a story about that too. I'm like, I didn't realize you could just walk up into a spot just because you got the piece of paper. But go ahead, Martin, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you know, it depends. It still depends on how you carry yourself, right? Like, you know, you know, if it's not your listing, you definitely have to be cool with the listing agent. You know, there's like a certain like camaraderie and way we talk to each other, and even like there's a way like we kind of like even mean talk to each other if we're not getting, you know what I mean? Like there's a whole way. So like, yeah, you can just walk up in an open house like, yeah, I'm like this, but like, you know, it's also, you have to think about it like, you know, you can't rub that person wrong because that they're going to be your business partner in the deal if you're going to close on that property. You know, so you gotta be
not breaking into a window and saying, "Hey, yeah, so
yeah,
let me see this property."
You know, I gotta be honest though. I'm not. Yeah, true. I mean, I'm not condoning. I'm not saying like you should like break into places, but like I gotta be honest. Early in my days, like if I knew the apartment was for rent, or the door was locked, like I didn't have access, like I didn't know the super, or I didn't know where they were holding the keys, like. Because oftentimes real estate's so old school still in the city. Like you might go to the shoe store and have to leave your license there and tip the guy $5 and he gives you the key so you can show the apartment upstairs, or go to the hardware store.
There's always a way, bro. There's always a way.
Yeah, but like, look, I used to pop doors with cards and I climb up fire escapes and get in the window.
They're gonna arrest me. At least you can say, "Wait, I'm a realtor."
You know, but
I can't do that. I'm gonna get arrested.
I could have got arrested too. You can't tell I'm a realtor when I'm climbing up the fire escape, you know. But like honestly, I was so hungry for it when I first got that license. I was so hungry for it. I was just like, I have a client. I got you out. I got you out of your house. I have your attention. You have money in your pocket. You have a deadline to move. Like, if I don't have keys for the front door, there has got to be another way into this building, and I will find it. And like, you know,
Jeff, he's already hired, bro.
You know, it's like I'm in.
What we buying, buddy?
It's like if I never popped any locks, I wouldn't have got some of my first deals. I gotta be honest, dude. Like, you know,
that's
awesome.
It's
just how it is.
Cool story, man. So, Pete, what you got anything you want to get off your mind, man?
Oh, no, go ahead. We can move forward because, listen, I don't know how much time we have, so we just got to squeeze everything in and we just go along as we go. No?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
yeah. Here we go, right? As far as like, all right, I'm a beginner, let's just say, right? I got pre-approved, right? I got the down payment. Okay, like what advice would you give a person like that just want to get into real estate real quick? Like what's your like top two, whatever, top two.
Well,
top three,
I mean,
whatever.
look, so you mentioned already pre-approval. Mm-hmm. That's great. So that means you already have done a lot of steps already.
You know why, bro? Because that's how we was walking into the house. Bang! Here goes my approval, buddy. I'm going in there. I want to check it out. Get it? Like, we going in there. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
Just like you, we was hungry, bro.
Yeah, man, exactly.
Real estate license or not, I know we have that. That's like an ammo. So we're coming.
You're right. No, you're right.
I don't care. I'm coming correct already. So I feel good on my end that it doesn't matter where I'm going. If I'm going to you, it's because I can afford that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm not going any above my means, you know? So that's pretty much that.
So time out. So you basically you already a step ahead, like Martin said, of a lot of other people.
I wasn't going to do it half-assed, bro. We don't do shit half-assed.
So
it's either you can do it right or don't do it at all, man. You can't skip steps, especially
Right.
with that.
Mhm.
We're
Yeah.
purchasing like $500,000 and up.
right.
You can't do that shit half-assed.
So to
Yeah.
backtrack on that question, right? The first step would be to get a pre-approval, right? Like not the first step, but that would be like before you even answer what's followed.
Yeah, like unless you're straight balling and you have tons of cash, like, you know, then pre-approval is not a thing for you.
No.
But that's not most people, right?
Yeah.
And honestly, the more cash you have, the more the more you start learning use other people's cash. So even if you have cash and you can go buy something all cash, don't spend your cash. Make sure your credit is really good. Fix your credit, and then go use the bank's money to buy that shit.
So
right now, interest rates are low as hell,
very low,
and they're gonna be low for a long time. So you can use basically what I'm saying is like the only way the bank's gonna be making money is off of fees right now. So they're gonna try to create all sorts of products for you. So whether you want to be a first time home buyer, and you know you got your pre-approval and your down payment, you don't want to go the traditional route, you know, 20% down or whatever, or even 10% for FHAs, right? You have that,
even lower,
or even or even lower, right? Or you want to take, you know, you want to do something crazier, maybe invest like in a whole building, right? There's all these exotic lines of credit they can use. Banks are even giving lines of credit. Let's say if like the multifamily you already want to buy has, you know, leases, it's already all leased up, you know, they'll give you a loan on that because they're like, oh, this has got, everything's in there for like, they got a yearly here, 2 years in the back. This one's leased up. Maybe you have a commercial space with 10-year lease downstairs. You know, you can get a loan based on
ready to go. It's ready to go. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. So there's stuff like that. Also, too, I mean, look, even at the very, very bottom of the market, I don't want people to ever think like, oh man, if I don't have like pre-approval for $500,000 and up, I can't get into real estate. That's not the case.
No,
okay. There's a great, there's an awesome product out there that it's highly overlooked. It's called a REIT. It's a real estate investment trust. It's a REIT, REIT. There's
I heard about that.
Yeah, there's REITs sold and traded like stocks. There's an amazing amount of REITs out there, and depending on your budget, you know, you like everyone. You got free trades on Robinhood now, right? I mean, Charles Schwab has the same thing now. There's ETFs like REIT ETFs. I mean, there's a great way to do it, and I highly recommend. You know, it's my opinion, I should say, you know, legal wise, blah blah. It's my opinion. I really think, like, especially right now, because you know savings accounts are not really giving a lot of people any sort of yield.
What?
You know,
savings account? What the hell?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're like, check this.
I mean, I rather listen. Nowadays, as I got older, I rather have an emergency fund before I have a savings account. You understand?
Yeah. No, of course. Like, but I think, you know, people should take advantage of the climate that's going on right now. You know, I don't want to get too deep into econ, but if we're talking about real estate, we kind of do have to touch on it. Basically, we've got a thing called the Federal Reserve here in this country, and they're basically being very accommodative, having a very accommodative stance to monetary policy for the foreseeable future. Basically, you need to make your money a performing asset, and it's not going to perform sitting in the bank. They're not giving you an interest rate like what they were giving our parents or our parents.
What's crazy about it is that they tell you how many percent they're giving you, bro, by the end of the year. Like, come on, man. For that, I'll give you the $250 and let me hold your money, and I'm gonna flip it.
Yeah, no, seriously. But that's also
I'll
the
give
thing.
you the interest if that's what you want.
Yeah, but that's also a thing too. Imagine it's cheaper for, imagine this, right? It's cheaper for you to get a personal loan from the bank with a ridiculously low interest rate, that if you go out there and find a REIT that you know is paying a dividend with it, the interest, the rate on the dividend is higher than the interest rate you're going to pay for the borrowing the money, you can take a personal loan and then just go flip it directly into a REIT and sit back and collect, you know, and just, you know, and that's better than the savings account, right?
Way better. You still get a lot more than 2%.
Yeah, exactly.
And to touch on, you know, if you guys that, you know, you guys that are on here that are watching this, if you guys are hearing terms that you've never heard before, write these terms down, look them up, do your own research.
You have to look them up.
REIT, REIT, FHA, you know, all this.
Pull that up. FHA will change your life.
Yeah, look it up. You know, you definitely want to be aware of these terms, especially if you're going to be in the real estate industry. Like, you're going to hear these terms all day long. So cool. So, you know, so since you mentioned it, you know, the climate that we're in, obviously, you know, what's been going down with this pandemic. Here's a question, right? You know, during these COVID times, is it a good time to invest or is it not?
You know, honestly, no, it's a great time to invest. It just depends on how you're going to invest and how you're going to do it. Right now, I mean, there's a number of ways you can go. Typically, like what a lot of people did, pardon me, like last time around, we had like a little recession, like a lot of multi-fams went up. You know, renting became more popular among people who weren't just like single men and women or younger men and women. Families began renting. You saw, you know, to spec like multi-fam homes and duplexes and things like that being built in parts of the country where that just was not traditionally a thing in like the posher sides of town, right? So that was something that came on last time, but this time around, because we're dealing with like, you know, a virus and a pandemic, you know, people obviously are trying to invest in things that are not, I guess, like, you know, very close to people, you know, so maybe multifams, they're not maybe the highest yielding investment right now for your money. Maybe, you know, it's a good time to buy, you know, maybe like single family bungalow property and revamp that, you know, to flip, for example, or just even invest in land to develop on, where, you know, you can build maybe homes that are like further out. But that's also where it comes. Yeah, but that's also where it comes in with REITs as well. There's REITs that specialize in that sort of thing. There's REITs. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a great thing. There's REITs that basically pay you off of your tenants. There's REITs that pay off of mortgages. There's REITs that concentrate only on industrial properties, only on multifam properties, only on developments of single family homes and things like that. So that's a great way to get in. Like now, that's a fantastic way to get in. If you're thinking like larger scale, you know, definitely getting in on some of these like on some of these syndicate deals. If you can do like something like that, so you can match your money with other people who are, you know, trying to do the same thing together. Because basically right now, if you don't have good credit, it's not a good time for you to invest because you're not going to get, you're not going to get that awesome.
It's not a car, bro. It's not a car.
Yeah, you're not going to get that awesome rate. Yeah, it's like, you know, when you watch TV and they'll flash like the Benz, and then they're like, zero money down, $179 a month for well-qualified buyers. But like that's the thing. So if you're not a well-qualified buyer right now sucks for you. It's harder for you to rent. It's harder for you to buy. It's also harder for you to save right now. It's actually
for you to breathe.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good and a bad time. It just depends on where you are. And I feel like that's also, you know, it's kind of like when people talk about like K-shaped recovery or whatever. But like, let's be honest, throughout history, in any sort of crisis, things have always kind of gone K-shaped. You know, there's people who profit out of it. And there's people who see opportunity and gamble off of it. And then there's people who just don't have an option. You know, they just have to kind of just fall back to earth, you know, while everyone else is escaping gravity.
I mean,
Right.
as far as my journey, I mean, there was ups and downs and stuff like that. But when you take a hit, you got to sit down for a second. You have to sit down for a second just to let it sink in. Because in this game, when you take a hit, it's a hit.
Yeah. No, it's true.
Hit. You know, so you got to get back up. So I understand that part. You know what I mean? But it's not, you know, at the end of the day, it's how you calculate it, bro. It's nothing in life is a guarantee. You just got to make it work.
Something I said, something I heard, you know, on a podcast for real estate was, you know, make the numbers your friend. Once you make the numbers your friend, you'll be more comfortable, you know, just in the whole situation, just knowing all the analytics. So
I mean, once you know, I mean, I personally look at the ROI, right?
Right.
Yeah,
For me, I just go at the end. I skip all those numbers things, right? I tell my wife, can you calculate this? What's the ROI? She goes, 12%. That sounds great. Let's go get that one.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because usually you hear like 7, 8, maybe 10 here and there. But anything above that, I'll take it. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, you know, I mean, there's people who would kill for even a 4% cap rate in Manhattan. You know, like
in Manhattan though, man. That's Manhattan, man. It's a little different.
No, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, even it just depends on what you're looking for ROI, or what we call a cap rate in the business, right? But yeah, you know, it just really depends. If you can get like a clean like 7% cap rate and up off of like a nice performing property, like, you know, go for it. Absolutely. If you can get in on a deal like that.
What do you recommend as far as like what percentage of return on investment? 7%?
Well, I mean, look, so for all the deals in Manhattan, everyone was always really like, they didn't want to look at anything like 4%, below 4%. It was just 4% like
is the minimum.
Well, 4% was kind of like the thing for like these guys who buy buildings. You know, it's like the psychological number.
Buildings like that, bro. 4% is probably is a lot, right?
Yeah. Well, yes and no. Like, I think, in my opinion, 4%. If you're not a sophisticated investor, 4% is okay for you. But I think for me, I wouldn't invest in something 4%. I need something just a little bit more.
That's why
you know, that also entails more, you know, more headache, more or less. You know, like I'm the type of guy who would maybe pass on I'm the type of guy who would probably pass on like a 12-unit walk up in the East Village. I'd rather buy a gas station for like the same price. I'd rather buy a truck stop, basically, like the last truck stop before you hit the Bronx or something like that. You know, I would rather. What's that?
You have to stop there, bro. That's the last gas
station. Exactly. So I would rather buy something like that because in my mind, like I know, like basically like a truck stop. There's no way we're not talking like low single digits or low double digits, you know, for a cap rate. But on the other hand, it's a truck stop, so you have to deal with all the environmental hazard as well. Like basically, you could never do shit with that land other than having a truck stop on it, because to clean it and develop it and to make it anything else is going to take so much money and have so much environmental paperwork and survey and everything. Just, it's always going to be a truck stop. Don't ever count on it being anything else like that. You know, or it'll be a version of one, you know, in the future, when not, you know, in the very near future, I should say, when we've got like electric trucks, it'll be a charging station, you know, but it's always going to have some sort of vehicle rolling through there, you know. But that's just me. I would buy that because I'm okay with that risk. I'm fine with that. That doesn't, you know, that doesn't bother me. I can stomach that. And also, like I can drive up to it and I can see it and I can, you know, I can see people coming in and out of it, you know. Like for a building, it's a little bit harder. Like what? I'm going to just camp out like a creep and watch how many people go in and out of my building. Yeah, exactly. You know, so like, you know, something like that. I would buy something more along the lines of that. You know, unless you have money to spend, there's like the thing that people always do, like the 1031 exchange. You know, so basically it's a tax mitigation thing. So you've got like, you know, X amount of days to buy a property that's equal the amount of tax that you would be owing for X, Y, and Z. So basically, you use that credit towards buying a property, so you don't get taxed. It's it's an interesting way to acquire a property. But that's the only reason why I would use that, maybe to buy like 10 unit walk up, because it's just like it was an easy layup, and I had to park the money.
So easy layup. I like that one.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, nothing easy about what's going on, all right. At least that's the optimism, right? The optimism. Easy layup. I believe in that.
So you mentioned like I said, you mentioned different ways to get involved in real estate. There's not just like me personally, I didn't know there was more than one way to get involved in real estate. I thought you just buy it, look for a property, buy it. Like, so what about the person that has $0 to invest into real estate? What's their option?
$0. Well, you have $0 to invest in real estate.
But good credit.
Okay. I mean, forget all the monetary stuff. You've got $0. It's great as long as you've got internet access. As long as you have like at least a library card, you can at least get to a library or get online. I guess it's kind of hard now, but get online somewhere, or your phone. Go on YouTube and just
learn.
Just Google real estate.
Yeah.
And just watch the first things that come up. It might be a property for sale. It might be some guy telling you how to like flip. Just start listening and pay attention to where those people are in the country, and if you can, where they are in their life, and you'll really see, like, depending on your budget and like how much you want to risk. The country's vast, and there's plenty of opportunity out there for you.
What about because I hear this too all the time on different real estate podcasts. What about the people that come up with $0, but they're like you mentioned, they go they find a good deal, right, and they bring it to a hard money lender, let's just say,
like a wholesaler, right? That's what you say, like a wholesaler. Yeah.
And basically what I'm doing the footwork. I'm doing the footwork for the guy that's going to give the money, and the guy that's giving you the money is saying, all right, cool. Well, I don't got to do any footwork. This makes sense to me, how much money I can make. Here's the loan,
that meaning like selling contracts.
Well, see, and that's why it's great to have your license, because then, like, I'm guaranteed a commission.
You get first dibs, right? You get first dibs.
Exactly.
I get it, bro. I get it. You make me want to get mine, man. Damn it.
And that's what's so cool about having a real estate license is this. It's like, I mean, and like, for example, like on a commercial deal, like the commercial deals, they're different. Like on a residential deal, I'll take a 1 month fee, right? Depending on the neighborhood and depending on the property. I usually take a 15% fee. Like 15% of the annual rent. That's what I always shoot for. If I have something like really, really dope, very unique, that's going to be my fee on the rental. But like
I was gonna ask you that too. Like, what's your fee as far as like on a rental?
Yeah.
Right? Like, do you charge the month's rent? Do you charge the 15% of the month's rent?
15% of the annual rent. Right, so that's for for apartments, right? Mm-hmm. But for like commercial leases, it's awesome.
Of course, like, it's more money.
Let's say I have like a 10-year lease, right? I get a commission on that all the 10 years, and then if you're really good at negotiating and you have a really good client, like I like to bring, I negotiate for the option, because I tell the landlord, I'm like, they're bringing a value, and they want an option for 10 years. And if you give them that option, then I want a commission for that option as well. So how those commissions work, it's like year 1 through 5, you get 5% of the annual rent, right? And then for year 6, you get 4, year 7, you get 3, year 8, you get like 2 or 1% for 8, 9, and 10, right? That's how it kind of goes. And then for like the option, I've been able to get like 2%, 2.5% for the option, which is fantastic. But I get paid up front, basically. I get paid usually like anywhere from a quarter to half at lease signing. And then after, whatever concessions we get for the client, there'll be like maybe anywhere from 1 to 3 months free rent because they're doing a build out, right? So 3 months after they pay their first rent, I get my next commission check, right?
That's how that works?
Yeah, and then another 3 months, I get my next one, you know, because now I've proven like they're working, right? But like I get all my commission for 20 years of their existence in like the first year. You know, it's fantastic. Like in my opinion, the best way to invest in real estate is to actually, you know, invest yourself like me. Like I'm a market participant and a market maker. Real estate is very different in that respect from all other markets basically, except for like maybe like, you know, like maybe like fishermen and like in agriculture in the same sense, you know. Because I can set prices, and you know, with enough work in a certain neighborhood, I create the market and I can create demand and also affect the price as well. So it's very different, you know, and I'm able to take, you know, I'm able to basically, you know, and I do that, you know, I see a great property and I will cold call people and say, hey, you need to be here. You know, it works. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't.
And going back to qualities, you know, that's something that I looked for. You know, when I got my you know, my second property out in Florida, I wanted to make sure that the person that was the agent that was helping me was also an investor, because they're not just looking at it as a sale perspective, right? They're looking at it as, cool, this person is in this to make money. How, you know, so they already know what I'm thinking as an investor, because they've already invested as well. You know,
exactly.
just like how you mentioned. So pretty.
Yeah.
I think I got one or two more questions. P, how you looking?
How about this, bro? Like, I just want to know how deep your network is, bro. If I needed a contractor, can you provide that?
That was one of my questions. So
yeah,
just to double up on that before you answer, like not even to double up, I guess to answer.
I just want to know if you can, like, what a contractor, right? If I want a loan officer,
I got that.
What else?
Like,
you got all of that?
Yeah, I mean, look, I got
time out before you answer that.
Like even right here on my board, I got this dude right here. What's he do right here? He does plastering, painting, leveling.
And does he go everywhere, like, or just New York?
No, I can do tri-state area really easily.
Here we go.
I've got like my own dudes. I've got small guys I use for just painting apartments. I got guys I do for demo. I've got companies I do for all. I've got for all different levels.
So to backtrack, who are some people on your team as an investor? Who are some people on your team that you would need? Right, we're talking about construction people. We're talking about real estate agents. Who are some key people on your team you would need?
Well, I'd say like the perfect, like the dream team, like what you'd want to have, like if you're gonna do this and do it right and be involved in all your properties, you're gonna want someone with a real estate license, right? And you want that person to be able to not only negotiate a lower price on all your investments, but also if you have someone in-house, right? Because there's going to be a commission paid off of that stuff. You'd like to have them in-house and have them like maybe on salary instead of commission, or salary plus commission. Give them like a lower commission, but give them more salary. So you can take that commission off of the purchases and throw that back in your own pocket, right? And so that's number one. So definitely have someone with a license. Also, someone with a license who's familiar with managing tenants, right? You want to have, like, for example, why a lot of landlords love me. It's like, I don't just bring you a tenant. I'll have the lease drafted up for you as well. I got all the standard leases. I have all the writers. I have all the forms. I have all of that. Tell me what you want. I'll bring the lease. I'll get it done. You know, or like, for example, I just pulled off a deal this week with a small landlord. He's worried about tenants not being able to pay rent because he knows times are crazy right now. So I set him up and put him on to a service he didn't even know about. And this is what comes back to like landlord service. I'm educating these guys who've been doing it the same way always. They don't know that there's all sorts of sophisticated tools out there for them.
Because times change, bro. Times change.
So I got them onto like services that basically guarantee the lease. So they become the tenant's guarantors. There's like a couple big companies that do it. Insurance, the guarantors, and Rhino. I've got pretty good relationship with insurance. I've used them quite a bit, and so I get landlords onto stuff like that. And then these are guys who tell me no.
Mm-hmm.
These are guys that tell me no, 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 no. They never worked with anybody like me before in all their years, and now I'm selling them on exotic products and exotic insurance products.
That's why they're still in the same spot, bro. Keep telling no, right?
Well, that's honest. You got to think about they've been saying no and doing the same thing, but like it's been working for them, because
it's working, but there's always the next level, bro.
Yeah, it's true, but imagine these people, they all have second jobs and stuff as well. If they can make a couple thousand every month off a building, added on to
whatever
a couple thousand they're already bringing, they're happy to have it. And a lot of these buildings are paid off. How am I going to tell a guy who's doing it wrong if he's got a building paid off?
He's probably collecting profit already, anyways.
Yeah,
I understood. Profit. I understand that. So you don't want to change it. He suffice with what he had. You don't care if there's more available. He don't even want it. He just he's comfortable already.
Exactly. And so, but then it comes to me, I got to educate them and say, hey, no, you know what? There's a better way to do this right now. You don't have to expose yourself. Look at yourself on the bright side. You actually have the power right now.
Exactly.
You're a landlord, and then I have this awesome product that this insurance company is going to insure your tenants. You're in a great position right now. I introduced them to this sort of stuff. So definitely. So going back to the dream team. So yeah, have someone on the team that's familiar with managing tenants.
Like a property manager.
Yeah, a property manager. But definitely.
If you want to hire a property manager, usually we can hire you as a property manager.
Yeah. Well,
right?
you could hire me, of course. You can hire me as a property manager.
But here's another. This is what I'm trying to say. As far as me trying to hire a property manager, how many properties should I have?
Well,
5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
honestly,
10.
to be quite honest, it doesn't matter how many properties you have. You start with doors, right? So basically, we say this in the business. It's really not a great idea to invest in anything less than 3 doors, right? Because if you have, let's say you have a 2-family house, right? One of your tenants fucks up, right? Or something happens to them, they lose their job, they're sick, or let's just say they just relapse or something. You never know. People are people. Stuff happens.
Yeah, whatever the case is, because that happened this year with COVID.
Yeah, exactly. So whatever happens, whatever the case is, right? So you've got a two-door house. One person goes out, they have to leave. For most people, they are not set up to that one door can cover the mortgage, on the whole property. So it's definitely best to have 3 doors or less. Or 3 doors or more. You're less exposed to stuff like that. But then also, it's good to have a property manager because you need somebody who can walk the property. Who's going to be there, to not only just collect the rents there, but also make sure, spot things early,
the garden, gutter, everything spotless, everything. Garbage,
you see, the gutter's loose over here, or the tenant is complaining, saying something's leaking.
I like the idea of a property manager, anyways, because if I'm the one doing it, then I guess it's another job.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
I don't want to work. I don't want to work. I want another job.
No, you're 100% right. And the most awesome thing right now as well is that there's an amazing amount of online tools that, I used to be a CTO, so I know about all this stuff. There's a lot of off-the-shelf tools that basically eliminates the need for a property manager in the traditional sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Someone like me on the team could easily manage 100 doors with the technology that we have available now. Basically, I would accept rents online. I would have all there's property software where you can accept the rents. Any sort of issues, the tenant reports it, self-reports. the tenant's their own property manager. They're going to take a picture
Yeah.
or a video, upload it,
Yes.
and then also with that same property management software, I have my contacts for all my guys, and so basically I have already like on retainer contractors and plumbers and handymen.
Ready to
So
go.
I put that job in the inbox, and somebody picks it up. They show up, they fix it, they take a picture that it's done.
They just charge you. That's it.
Yeah, and then they'll go with me because I pay them faster.
Mhm.
I give them a supply of work. I'll get it cheaper as well because I have a constant supply, right? So it's always good to have a property manager because you wouldn't know that this sort of stuff.
So the property manager is automatically connected to all those guys. Should, right? At least a good one, right? A good one.
So a guy like me, I would help you not only close the transactions, but also manage all of the tenants and all of the property needs, right? That's number one, really easy. So, and then on the team as well with that, you're going to want to have, you need to have somebody who's licensed. You need to have licensed and bonded workers, right? So you need to have licensed electricians. You need to have like licensed plumbing. Those two things, because you need, and also you need someone who knows how to file things properly. So that licensed plumber or electrician, they should know how to file things properly with the Department of Buildings or your local authorities, right? Or just even, it's good to have on hand a good expediter. That's somebody who can help you with that sort of stuff as well. They're worth their weight in gold. A good expediter is fantastic, especially if you have commercial projects. You're gonna need it.
Loan officer?
Loan officer, perfect, right?
Yeah, yes and no. Loan officers, there's a lot of them. They're like a dime a dozen loan officers. But you got to know where to go for your money. I really prefer using the United Nations has a great bank actually. They're a non-for-profit bank, so they charge really low fees. It's fantastic actually. They're a great bank, and they'll actually work with people who are not traditionally credible by American standards, right? So let's say you've got no credit but massive assets, like either here or in another country. They can work with you. Fantastic. It's great. I really like using them a lot, actually.
Okay. I'll look that up.
Yeah, so there's great tools from them. I've got a couple great guys that work with us as bond from there. I think they're fantastic. And if you're a member, you can get even better rates as well. So if you're a member of the bank before you start trying to use them for any sort of stuff like that, the fees are even lower. The rates are even better. Yeah, they're really good. They're really good for that. And a good lawyer. Yeah,
that's important. You know what? A lawyer got me out of a deal in the beginning of the year when COVID happened. Crazy. Because it has something with the contract that she added something that, God forbid, there was a pandemic. Like, where the hell was this coming from? I was able to get out.
Yeah, nice. Bingo. Exactly.
I mean, I took the hit. We took the hit or whatever it is that was happening, but whatever. That's big. I mean, they got us out. You can take whatever else it is.
You probably lost like a little bit of deposit or whatever.
My lawyer fees or whatever. But that's good. She got me out of a bigger deal. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You can have that $1,000, buddy. Let me get my money back. Yeah.
So definitely
a good lawyer is important. Very important.
And make sure it's a flat rate lawyer. Don't get stuck with a lawyer with the hours and all this sort of stuff. Like, you want someone who's flat rate, someone who's good, someone who's flat rate. You don't need to go for the hours and all this sort of stuff. Like,
you don't need that because they just have to review the paper, right?
Yeah, you're not setting up tax shells in Panama. You're not trying to get off of some felony charges you don't need by the hour. You don't need it. You don't. Flat rate. Yes. Flat rate. Definitely.
That's a good advice. You're right about that.
Yeah, because I mean, look, anybody who works by the hour, like, there's no incentive for them to work faster, is there?
Yes. No. I'll see you in a week.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I gotta pay you every hour. Get out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
Just tell me how much. Tell me how much, and we move forward, bro. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
I like the flat rate.
Yeah, definitely a flat rate. Flat rate. The best thing you can do. Yeah, and because everything else during like a transactions flat rate as well. Like the points you're going to pay on your mortgage or your loan, right? The percentage that I'm taking as a commission is your agent, and the percentage is going out to the listing agent. Everything else is flat rate. Why is your lawyer going to have this extra special, by the hour? Yeah. No, don't get played.
Get the job done, silly.
Yeah.
So, well, I definitely do, have some, one last thing to close out with, unless P, you want to add anything else?
I mean, he pretty much covered a lot of stuff. I learned. I mean,
there's a lot right here.
For a fact, I'm checking out one thing. For fact.
So I would say this.
That bank. I'm gonna look that up.
United Nations. Yeah, definitely.
And be a member. I'm gonna be a member. All right. Let's figure this part out.
Yeah, let me know. I'll introduce you to our guy. I can, put you in contact.
All right.
I got a guy.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I want to know, bro. Just point me to wherever I gotta go, and then we move forward from there.
Awesome.
I'll say this. What are some resources you could point people towards? Maybe some books, maybe some audios, a podcast. For me personally, if I could recommend anything, for anyone on here that needs, information on more real estate talk. For me, it's this podcast called Bigger Pockets, right? I talk to you about it all the time, Pete. They have an app, they have YouTube page. It's literally called Bigger Pockets. I'll put it up right here. It's called Bigger Pockets.
I'll have to check that out. I hadn't heard of that.
They're awesome. They're awesome.
It's just that on my end, Kathy does all that info stuff. She's the best, yo. I promise you that. I just help out making decisions. Nope, that's not gonna work, buddy. We're not doing that one. Yeah, that one. Yeah, that's what we do.
But what would you say, Martin? Any books? Anywhere you would, just resources you would suggest, just to
I guess I'm in a different position because, I'm surrounded by real estate stuff, so there's guys that work at Bond that are older than me. They've been doing this longer. I can ask them questions, and I go down the YouTube black hole for stuff. YouTube is great. It's a great tool. I can't knock it. I learned an awful lot of computer programming watching tutorials on YouTube.
Yep.
It's insane. I've taught myself a lot on YouTube. So YouTube's great. I wish I had a specific podcast for you, but I don't.
No, I mean,
there's so many. Yeah, you just got to pick one, right? But
and I'm out there. I'm out there in the field. I'm like,
so you don't have time to listen to what it is. You are the podcast. You are the podcast.
I'm out there. I'm knocking on doors. I'm calling people. I'm writing the leases. But there's some great websites. Okay, so there's The Real Deal. That's a great website you can go on, and they'll give you all the inside New York City stuff. The Real Deal.
Like REAL or RE?
Yeah, REAL. The Real Deal. That's a good site.
That's right here.
There's the Brick Underground. That's another great site. These are also pretty New York city specific.
Brick
the Real
Underground.
Deal has the Brick Underground. The Real Deal has a Miami specific one as well as New York City. They also have a national one. I get the magazine. Wait, little swag here. It's that it's still in the plastic this month. I haven't opened it yet. Sorry, Real Deal. I've been busy closing. I haven't finished reading this one. So the Real Deal is fantastic. Brick Underground, New York Times real estate section is great. Shameless plug. They have me in it. But it's also it's a great source. Where else would I recommend? So we got.
What about people who find you? Where they find you?
Oh yeah, I mean, look, you can find me. Oh yeah, also too. Yeah, sorry, just real quick too. All the big real estate companies all publish quarterly reports. They're all great to read. Some of them have better stuff than others and more specific. So like, Douglas Elliman has one. Cochrane City Habitats, they do one. Bond, we just dropped ours the other day.
And where would you find these reports?
A quarterly report. If you just like search Bond quarterly report, you'll be able to find a link off of like Twitter, something like that. You can hit me up too if you just like search like Martin Dupain Bond New York. You'll see like my little web page there, some properties. My email address. What's that?
What Bond has their own site?
Yeah, bondnewyork.com.
Is that Bond NY or Bond New the whole thing spelled out?
Yeah, whole thing spelled out. So bondnewyork.com. So you can go on there.
Bond New York. Look for Martin.
Yeah. / Martin Dupain. That goes like straight to me. Or my email md@bondnewyork.com. Like MD, like the doctor, Dr. Bond, Dr. Real Estate. So you can catch me there. Definitely read all those reports. Like I think, there's a couple that I really like for commercial real estate. There's a company called Optimal Spaces. They do a great commercial real estate every month. Their monthly report is fantastic. And then also, I enjoy reading stuff from Collier's International as well. They have some great reports as well. So those are all great resources if you want to like learn more in depth and have like more in tune, just have a more in tune ear to like what's going on in the real estate street, like internationally or locally, commercial or residential.
All right, perfect.
I like that. Damn, there's so many. Now I gotta study more. Yeah, that's the key though, man. Some people just don't take time. They rather watch the NBA or the football or something else. Yeah. But we're too busy studying. You know what I mean? That's all there is. The key is you just gotta put in your time, man. That's it. If it's an hour a day, half an hour a day, you just gotta do something. That's all there is, bro.
That's how I started.
That's how I learned. I was just like, I gotta learn something. I gotta learn a skill. I gotta learn something. And I know there's people out there living the life I want to live. So I had to figure it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just had to take I just had to sacrifice certain things, and learn something for a little bit until I start, until you start getting the ball rolling.
Yeah. Exactly.
And once you get the ball rolling, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
You already know the info in here. You already got your team going. It's just a matter of, hey, next,
right.
next one. It's just a duplication after that.
It definitely helps just to get familiar. Like I said, like I just jumped on bigger podcasts on their YouTube and just was like listening, hearing like these terms, hearing the lingo, just being around the real estate environment, being around people that are investors and homeowners and business or commercial real estate, just being around that environment definitely helps you. So, I do want to open, if anybody that's on here live still has any question that they want to ask. Okay, cool. Kathy has a question. The floor is open for questions before we close this off. Kathy got a question real quick. Let's see if you could answer this one. What rental insurance company do you recommend?
Oh, it's like rental insurance, like for your own like renter's insurance. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I actually, I have like an affiliate link for Lemonade. I highly recommend Lemonade. It's one of the cheapest renter's insurance possible. They have a very cheap basic one, and it's expandable. And, you can upgrade it as well to cover like larger, more expensive items. It's all like web-based, and they also they donate like like a portion of your policy. They donate towards like a good cause and stuff. So I highly recommend Lemonade.
Where do you find them?
Just online, lemonade.com, or you can email me, md@bondnewyork. I'll send you my link. You can sign up with my link, and we can go from there.
Yeah, that's probably easier.
Yeah, they're a great company, fantastic. They're cheap, it's quick. Yeah, they're great. Unless you have like car insurance and stuff like that.
And you want to put it together, is that what it is?
Yeah, it just depends. It might be better. They might.
It might stay the same or around the range you're in already.
Yeah, definitely check. Lemonade's great if you don't have any other insurance products. Lemonade, Gold lemonade first, number one. If you do have anything else, just see if when you combine, you can save money.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Cool.
About saving.
Already, well, definitely, we would love to have you on here and go into more in-depth questions. This was like real general, but
Yeah.
I'm sure we can go into a lot of more situational stuff. That we could get our and pick your brain on, man. But definitely, I appreciate you jumping on here and giving us all this knowledge, man. I definitely got to rewatch this and just
Hell yeah.
See what I missed, but I definitely was taking notes.
I was definitely taking notes.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on, man.
This was amazing.
I appreciate everyone. Everyone's attention. That's awesome.
Because now we can bust a move.
There we go.
Bust a move.
Everybody that jumped on here, as we mentioned, 2020 was the year that some people are taking L's. But there's a lot of people that are making opportunities out of this year. So, hopefully you take what some truth that you found on this episode, and decide to make a move. If you do decide to make a move, let us know. If you decide that you want to get into real estate, you want to start investing, let us know.
Hit us up.
So, and also, if you're in New York City and you want some help getting your license, reach out to me. I'll help you. I'll help you study. I'll give you some tips, all of that. I'll even help you get a nice space to park your license once you graduate. I'll introduce you to everyone over at Bond. Awesome. And, I'm kind of assembling a little bit of a team here, and I'm, but
have to, man. Golf is a team sport, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, I'll put you on, I'll help you get your license. I'll put you on. I'll show you what to do. There's a lot of opportunities in New York. Especially I feel like a lot of people overlook outer boroughs. They always think New York City is just Manhattan. There's a big world out there, and also to listen up everybody to Queens. Queens, there's good money to be made out in Queens, commercial and residential. It's a little known fact. A lot of the commercial deals, they pay out higher commissions in Queens as well than they do in Manhattan. So, there's good money out here. I'm hope no other real estate agents are watching this.
Just don't
come
up
on my money in Queens, but
just throw it out,
man. I'm just telling you, don't sleep on the outer boroughs, and don't trip over yourself to get on every deal inside of Manhattan. New York City's big. You don't have to.
Do you recommend do you recommend the tri-state?
Hey man, tri-state's great for investment. Absolutely. I definitely recommend it. Just within spitting distance of New York City, there's great deals to be had in New Jersey and Connecticut.
Jersey's just a bridge away, bro. Just a bridge away. Not even an hour.
Exactly.
Not even an hour. Yeah, again, but you gotta go there and take time, bro. How you gonna know if I'm just gonna sit on my couch? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Make a trip out of it. You have to. Yeah. If you don't have a car, try to rent one. Just make a trip out of it. Just make a trip. Go out there, have brunch early with your girl, your guy, whatever you're into. Doesn't matter. Just go out there, have brunch, and then just drive around afterwards.
That's how it starts.
Yeah.
Hey, can I live in this neighborhood? I want to see the type of people around here. What kind of neighborhood?
Or this is a cool neighborhood, and that building's for sale. Wow, that's a good investment. I like it here. Definitely, just make a thing out of it. At the end of the day, for everybody, keep in mind, real estate. This shit's supposed to be fun. You should be having fun. You should be having fun when you're house hunting, when you're looking for your next rental. This should be fun. You should be having fun. You should be smiling. You should be not worrying about the money that you're gonna be handing over. And stuff like that.
But that shit in the beginning was scary as shit.
Yeah,
you understand me? I don't care how much fun you said we was having. I was shitting in my pants. You heard?
Yeah,
I didn't know what was going on. Oh my god, this shit better happen, right?
I know that feeling.
But the optimism, right? The optimistic part. The positivity, the belief, the faith, that definitely helps. I didn't listen to anybody else. If you was against what I'm doing, have a nice day, man. Get out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
You wasn't around me, bro. I wasn't letting you in.
I like that, man. So on that note, we will definitely end it off with that. Have fun with this journey.
Yes.
If you decide to take part in it, man. So everybody else will, tune into the next episode. I appreciate y'all for jumping on here. And feel free to comment. If you're watching this on a recording, feel free to comment on the recording.
Yes.
I'll read all the comments, man. I appreciate you guys. Love y'all. And
I appreciate everyone, man.
Catch y'all on the next one.
Thank you. Thanks,
Martin. We're calling you soon.
All right, you got it.